All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about something pretty profound today. What does it really take to build a worldview that can quite literally change the world? We're going to deconstruct the operating system of a visionary founder, that deep set of beliefs that let someone engineer a whole new reality.
It all starts by challenging the most basic things we think are true. This idea from the philosopher Alan Watts is a great place to start. It suggests that all the clean lines we draw, good versus bad, self versus other, winning versus losing, they aren't really separate things. They're just two ends of the same stick. You literally can't have one without the other.
And that's where this huge cosmic idea gets really personal, right? If that line between you and, well, everything else isn't as solid as you think, then what exactly are you? Is that little voice in your head, your ego, really the one in charge? Or is it just a small part of a much, much bigger dance? Okay, so let's pull on that thread a little bit. The very first part of this founder's operating system is about dismantling what we could call the reality illusion. This incredibly powerful and maybe false idea that our sense of self is walled off from everything and everyone else. Here's the heart of it. You can't be you in a vacuum. You only know yourself as me because there's a world of not me out there. So your ego isn't some fixed thing sitting in your skull. It exists only in this constant, dynamic relationship with the entire universe. And really getting that, that's the key that unlocks a totally new way of operating in the world.
So, if the self isn't this separate little island, then what does that mean for the power of our minds? Well, this leads us to a pretty radical principle. The idea that your mind isn't just watching reality go by, it's actually the primary creative force behind it. This concept, which comes from ancient Hermetic teachings, makes a frankly staggering claim. It says the entire universe isn't fundamentally physical. It's a mental creation. Now, if that's even a little bit true, it changes the entire game. It means that the real key to mastering your reality is mastering the laws of your own mind.
And this isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. Sources like Anchoring Reality actually lay out practical, step-by-step procedures. You could almost call them programming protocols, or, modern spells, for consciously reprogramming your own thoughts. You learn to observe your inner dialogue, spot the patterns that hold you back, and then use powerful techniques to align your mind with the reality you want to create. So here's the bottom line on that. Your thoughts are not passive. According to this worldview, every single thought is an act of creation. It kicks off a chain of cause and effect that ripples outwards and eventually shows up as the actual conditions of your life. And that's an incredible amount of responsibility, but it's also an incredible amount of power. Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting. Modern psychology has, in a way, kind of reverse engineered the practical tools that let you apply these ancient spiritual principles. So let's open up the toolkit for hacking your own internal state. Okay, take cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It's basically a clinical evidence-based playbook for doing exactly what those spiritual texts were talking about. It teaches you how to catch and reframe those negative automatic thoughts, the very same mental habits that this new thought philosophy says are actively creating a reality you probably don't want. And it's the same with NLP. It gives us a whole set of techniques to go in and actively, rewrite the code of our own minds. NLP looks at the structure of how we think and gives us ways to change that structure. It's like being a programmer for your own brain. And this comparison just makes it so clear. It's night and day, right? On one side, you have a typical thought from a CBT workbook. There's no point, I won't enjoy it. That thought just creates a dead end. On the other side, you have an affirmation from this creator model. I am a creative power. One mindset shuts reality down, the other one is actively trying to build it. And then modern habit science comes in and gives us the instruction manual for making these new thought patterns stick, for making them automatic. The secret is understanding that our habits are all about trying to change how we feel inside, and we can totally engineer that process with things like simple repetition and clever tricks like temptation bundling. So once you have the tools to start managing your inner world, the next level is to look outwards, to try and understand the operating system of the universe itself, so you can start building things in harmony with it, not against it. And weirdly enough, when we go looking for that blueprint, we find cutting-edge physics saying things that sound surprisingly familiar. At the very edge of our understanding, you have things like M theory, which suggests that at the most fundamental level, everything is interconnected, that everything is just a different vibration of the same underlying string. It paints a picture of the universe as this grand cosmic symphony. And just look at how that mirrors these ancient spiritual ideas. The Kybalion says that the difference between the physical and the spiritual, between mind and matter, isn't a difference in substance. It's just a difference in vibration. It's this absolutely incredible parallel. It's like our deepest mystics and our most brilliant physicists are climbing the exact same mountain, just from different sides. So if the universe works on laws like these, can we actually build a system that acts like a creator? Well, in the world of AI, the answer is yeah, we can model it. An optimal Bayesian agent is basically a computer program that builds a model of its world, is constantly updating its beliefs based on new data, and then acts in a way to achieve its goals. It's a blueprint for a conscious creator, written in code. Okay, so this has all been pretty mind-bending, but how does it all come together in the real world? Let's look at how this entire operating system comes to life through the vision and work of the founder, Princeps Polycap. First, you have the practical right here, right now application. The Polybrand uses AI to automate business workflows. This is step one. You use this deep understanding of systems to create more efficiency and free up human potential in the world as it exists today. But that's just the foundation. Poly 186 takes that same vision and scales it up, way up. The goal here is to literally architect systems that create abundance, automating the production and distribution of things we all need to survive. This isn't just about making businesses run better. It's about trying to re-engineer the very foundations of society. And then there's the ultimate expression of this vision, P3. This is the moonshot. This is taking that core belief that a focused, aligned mind can shape reality and applying it on a planetary scale. It's an attempt to terraform a desert to help reverse climate change. It's about creating a future that most people would tell you is flat out impossible. So this entire journey, from deconstructing your own ego, to mastering your mind, to modeling the universe, and finally to engineering a new world, it all comes down to one very profound question for you. If it really is true that your thoughts, your beliefs, your internal state, if that's the blueprint for your reality, then what world are you creating right now?